This book was just so amazing, and I can't even with it. Hello everyone, my name is Alfredo, and welcome back to Wayfaring Reader. In this video today, I bring you a spoiler-free review of Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. Now, I am doing this spoiler-free because after reading it, I've decided that I don't have that many things to discuss which are kind of spoilery, so again, spoiler-free, you can also watch it if you haven't read it. Initially, I didn't even plan to buy this when it came out. I hadn't even pre-ordered it, but after it came out, like a few days later, I saw everyone raving about it on Goodreads and was praising it, and I saw that it was really cheap on Amazon, so I decided to get it. And when it got here, I couldn't resist. I stopped reading the book I was reading at the moment and picked up this. Now, the biggest problem I have with this book isn't even with the book, it's with the synopsis. And I'm going to read you the synopsis because this is something I want to discuss. It says, 16-year-old Asa never intended to pursue the mystery of fugitive billionaire Russell Pickett. But there's a $100,000 reward at stake, and her best and most fearless friend Daisy is eager to investigate. So together they navigate the short distance and broad divides that separate them from Russell Pickett's son Davis. Asa is trying to be a good student, a good daughter, a good friend, and maybe even a good detective, while also living with the ever-tightening spiral of her own thoughts. When I initially read that synopsis when it came out, I was like, this is going to be another Paper Downs, another situation, and just instead of boy chasing down girl he likes, which is kind of really creepy, it's girl chasing down billionaire for money. But essentially I thought it was going to be kind of a road trip book where we would be following clues, and I wasn't all that interested in it. And I think that synopsis and that marketing is just a fatal flaw in the campaign they have done for this book, because this book is closer to The Fault in Our Stars than it is to Paper Downs. It is closer because this book isn't the story of Asa trying to find Russell Pickett to win a reward. That's just a very small part of the story compared to what it's really about, because this book is about mental health, and it's about Asa dealing with her anxiety and OCD. Now, don't quote me on this, but I do believe John Green has either anxiety or OCD, or maybe even both. I'm not really sure. It did take him 6 years to write this, and you can really see that he knows what he's talking about, that he really is putting himself out there with this book. And I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I thought it was so fantastic. It felt very real. The main character, Asa, is just... she is such a great main character, and the kind of bluntness with which it was written was really emotional to read about her dealing with OCD and dealing with her anxiety. It was just really powerful to read that. This book has a really small ensemble of characters. It portrays these two mental illnesses with such honesty that I have never read about, and that's why I'm a bit pissed at them selling the book for something it's not, when if they would have sold it for what it really is, I think it would be even better. I love the title, I love the cover. I really understand after reading it why they chose this cover, which I hated when I saw it, but now I love it. And it is true that this is the story of Asa and her best friend Daisy kind of reconnecting with Asa's childhood friend Davis to find out where his father has gone after he is accused of corruption and he escapes. And disappears, essentially. But again, that is not the main thing of this book. The main thing is that mental illness and how Asa deals with it, and how she feels guilty for the pain she is causing the people around her who don't know how to help her, but at the same time, she can't really focus on them that much because she has to focus on herself, and it's kind of like the spiral for her of just negative thoughts. And just the scenes where she goes to the therapist were also really powerful, and this is just a very good novel, and I'm sure it's going to win a lot of awards, and I hope it will be adapted because this needs to be talked about. I also love kind of the way they portray the relationships between Asa and her mother and her best friend, and how it's not all handy dandy. You know, she does have these mental illnesses, and she does struggle with them in establishing new relationships and just keeping up with the relationships she already has, and seeing her struggle with someone she kind of maybe likes romantically, but also struggle with her best friend. It was also hilarious. Like, I was laughing aloud a lot with this, because some things are just ridiculous. It does have the very distinctive narrative of John Green. The first line is just absolutely fantastic, and it says, "At the time I first realized I might be fictional, my weekdays were spent at a publicly funded institution on the north side of Indianapolis called White River High School, where I was required to eat lunch at a particular time, between 12:37 p.m. and 1:14 p.m. by forces so much larger than myself that I couldn't even begin to identify them." That kind of sets the tone for this novel, because Asa struggles a lot with kind of the thought that she doesn't control her story, that no matter what she does, there are outside forces that control her, and she can do nothing against it. And seeing her kind of push through that, and so again, I'm just really sad that they marketed this as a story about kind of this mystery and finding out what happened with the billionaire. No, it's not even that. It's not even a love story. You know, it does have kind of romance moments, but this is not a love story. Well, no, I'm wrong there. It is a love story, but it's a love story between Asa and Asa, between herself. It is a story kind of her coming to terms with her mental illnesses, with kind of being more confident despite having these mental illnesses, and her kind of learning how to navigate her relationships when she is not at her best. But again, just a fantastic novel, 5 out of 5 stars. Now that's all for this video today. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you've read Turtle all the way down, let me know down in the comments below what you thought about it. If you've liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. You can also subscribe to be notified when I post new content on this channel. You can also follow me on Goodreads, Instagram, and Twitter. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a great day.